As you may know, Jupyter notebooks are stored on disk in JSON format. Each cell is a JSON object that contains, among other things, the execution count, your actual code, and any output generated from running the cell. In this example notebook, I'm using pandas to get ticker data for a well-known tech company and plot it. So this last cell would contain the plot command, but also this entire plot in SVG format. Now, if you keep your notebooks under version control, you may actually only be interested in keeping track of the changes to your code and not to your output. You could, of course, before each commit, clear all the output manually, but this is very cumbersome and error prone. If you forget it once, all your output is back. So in this screencast, I'm going to demonstrate nbstripout, a little utility to automatically strip output from Jupyter and IPython notebooks, which you can install as a Git filter, so it runs automatically for Git operations like diffs and commits. If I save this notebook and I go over to my terminal and I create a new Git repo and I git add the notebook file and I check what Git would now commit, then we can see that this file is massive, because the diff is massive because it contains this entire SVG file embedded in the plot cell. Now in this other terminal, let's create another Git repo, and in here let's install nbstripout, which you can get from PyPy, so you can just install it via pip. And we also need nbconvert, because that's what nbstripout uses under the hood. And then we install nbstripout in this repository with nbstripout -- install. Now we git add our notebook again, and what Git is committing now is much smaller, because all the output is magically gone, even though it's still there on disk. Now let's go back and make a little change. Say we wanted to get the stock for some other company. We rerun the plot. We save the notebook. And let's do a git diff to see what changed. Without nbstripout, you can see that the execution count changes. This is our actual code change. And then of course the plot changed. So we have a several thousand line diff for the SVG, which is not very helpful. On the other hand, using nbstripout, in our diff, we really only get the 4 characters that we changed. And this is what we care about. Now, what happened when we installed nbstripout is that a filter was installed and configured in the git config of this local repository. This means that for any file specified via git attributes that has been configured as well when installing nbstripout. And you can see here that for any notebook file, this nbstripout filter is applied and then calls nbstripout on the entire data. So before Git gets to see it, all the output is gone, and we have clean diffs and clean commits. You can get nbstripout from PyPy, and all the code is open source on GitHub. Contributions are welcome. Thanks for watching.